Enchanters are broken right now, and if you're not climbing, then that's a problem, and I want to help you. Today I'm going to show you how to carry with enchanters from the laning phase towards the mid to late game, and I'm going to give you 10 tools to do it so you can implement them directly in your solo queue games. For me, my personal favorite is the last one. The first one is going to be how to use your abilities to secure the level 2 in laning phase. Now, I've seen this so many times where you guys don't use your abilities properly in lane. Here you will see, I will post the video. I threw a mantra Q onto the enemy bot lane, and now the enemy wave is chunked, and also I poked at the same time Draven. So now Draven is low, the wave is low, and I'm able to secure the level 2 with a really strong lane with Caitlyn and with me. But instead of me looking for random Qs on the enemy, I'm going to hold my abilities and use them on the wave to make sure that we secure the level 2 prio. Now here the level 2 prio is already secured, and I'm going to use the splash damage just to push and at the same time poke the enemy. A common mistake is that you are trying to use your abilities all the time on the enemies, when in reality the two first waves are so important that you want to use your spells on the wave to make sure you secure prio. Now this is a nice touch. Once we get prio, I get division. I get division on the enemy gromp, and I'm not hitting the enemy tower because I prefer to have the information on where the enemy jungler is pathing. Now we see the gromp, so that means that he's pathing top to bot, so he will be bot side for the crab. So is our jungler, but because we have prio, we are going to secure the crab. I want to show you another example, this time with Lulu. Now with Lulu, I'm going to use my Q to push and try to poke them at the same time so we can secure the level 2. Now here, I use my Q on the backline minions, so now these minions are low because they have no access to these minions. That means that we are pushing faster, so we are securing level 2. Level 2 is super important to play around and to get as fast as possible, or at least secure it, and once you secure it, you can get hold on that control and bully the enemy team, okay? So here we end up getting a free level 2 because of the first Q I did. So we have a bit of wave advantage, and I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to Q through the minions, and now it's 100% guaranteed that we are going to get the level 2. You already see my ping going out that I want to play aggressive, and here level 2, we go and we take a small trade. We also secure the prio, so when our jungle will be bot side, we are going to be able to play the crab together, and we will be able to move faster. You want to make sure that you play aggressive before level 6, and once you are level 6, you play as an enchanter back. Why is this? And why am I saying this? It's because enchanter champions are very strong, or usually are pretty strong early game, okay? Lulu is very strong, Janna is okay, Nami is strong, Karma is strong. They have range advantage, strong abilities, and you can make sure that you are trading properly with the enemy. I've seen so many enchanter players that what they do is, if I pause here, they will play far back behind their AD carry, so they will play like here or here. But what you should be looking for is that you have to understand level 1 to level 6, you want to play forward. And after level 6, you play back. Why is that? It's because your abilities have an impact before level 6. You do a lot of damage, especially with an EQ auto attack combo with Lulu, mantra Q with Karma. You have insane damage because people don't have any health, they don't have any items, so you are very strong. Now, how do you have to think about this? Is if you imagine yourself from level 1 to level 6, here in this area, you want to play aggressive. You want to look for an edge. You want to look for an advantage in laning phase. And after level 6 onwards to level 18, I don't think you get a level 18, but I usually don't. Here you want to play not safe, but behind your AD carry or behind your carries, okay? Now, what's very common, or what I see all the time, is that you guys play from level 1 to level 18, you guys play behind your carries all the time. It doesn't mean that you have to be perma-aggressive, but I see so much that you guys play behind your carries all the time. So that's one of the reasons that you are not climbing with Enchanter, because you are nerfing yourself the first 7 to 8 minutes of the game, or even more, 9 minutes of the game, because you are not able to play aggro. Now here I'm playing Lulu. I have bomb plating, so I can take some trades with Lucian right here. I use effectively my sweeper to get control of the middle bush. And here I'm playing bush control. Nami is also trying to play aggressive because this is already like higher elo. Normally the Nami would be here behind and give you more space, so it's way easier to do in your elo if you know what you're doing, right? And if you're practicing. Here I get a really good Q on the Nami. I'm not using my abilities on the wave that much because we already have the level 2 secured, if you see the wave control. So I'm just going to keep trading, and I'm just going to use my heal here aggressive. I'm going to pop my potion, and we end up killing. Sure, my Vayne is following up. Vayne is playing really good, but in Yurilo, there is going to be, or in lower MMR games, there's going to be moments where you can even 1v2 the enemy bot lane. But to do that, you have to practice to play more aggressive. You have to practice to make sure that you are more of a bully in early game as with Enchanter than anything else. Okay, once you control that, then you are going to climb, 100% guaranteed. After that, after minute 10, once you are level 6, you can play back and just buff your carries. Right, in this game, once I get level 6, I will let Vayne do everything and I will just spam EW ultimate. Super simple, but the first minutes of the game, I have to put in the work. How to use summoner heal properly. This one is, I promise you, 99% of supports, or 99.5% of supports, I would say like only 0.5% of supports, do this properly. Now, I'm missing all my Qs on the wave, guys. I'm scoring so many goals right now, and we are struggling with Prio. Well, we are not going to start with Prio because we are playing Caitlyn Karma. But don't do it like me. Like, I tried to hit the wave at the same time than enemy champion. Here was good. This auto attack, it's a bit questionable, but here I heal, and we start running at them. Now, I want to give the explanation right here, right now. Let me pause for a second. So, why did I just heal so early? You have to use heal for the move speed, and you want to use it early. Now let's go back when I used the heal and why did I use it. So most of you guys are overthinking summoner spells like barrier and heal. AD carries for barrier and supports for heal. You don't use these summoners before you die. You use them to fight. Heal is an aggressive summoner. You have to think about it. You have to change your chip and think about it like if it's like ignite. Because heal is going to give you damage, and that's what something you guys are missing, is that heal is a damage summoner. Now, right now, I use my heal, so heal is going to heal you, obviously, it heals me and Caitlyn for 80, so we got 80 plus 80 HP, insane value. Now, I don't know why it's called heal, it should call like mini ghost, or a dual ghost, or 2 ghosts, because the heal doesn't really matter. I already got 100% efficiency on the HP. Now I get a move speed bonus 2 times because I get it and Caitlyn gets it. What does move speed bonus mean? It means more damage, because it means that we can auto attack more, and it means that I can reach and hit my Q more. So in reality, what my heal is doing, it's giving me a tool to trade faster onto the enemy. It also keeps us healthier, which means that we have more control over the lane. So how do you have to use heal? Is to trade fast and keep trading. Sometimes you're going to trade, and you cannot reach for one auto. You heal before, so you can get 1 or 2 autos more, which 1 and 2 autos more is like more than 100 damage. More than, probably combined is like around 200 damage. It can make the difference on winning laning phase or not getting the kill. All right. It also keeps you healthy, so it's better against champions like Jhin that do more damage the lower you are, or other type of champions. That's also why you use barrier earlier. And the last thing that you guys are missing is that heal goes on cooldown for 4 minutes. So right now my heal is on cooldown for 4 minutes, and the cooldown is starting now, so I'm able to use more heals during the game, and especially during laning phase. Now I'm going to go into more detail on how to use heal, exhaust, ignite, when to choose them in another video, so make sure you subscribe if you're interested in more support knowledge, or when to choose this type of summoners. I will post a video probably next week, so make sure you subscribe and follow me for that. And let's move into the next one. How to know what to buy in your first base. Now, this is super important, and there are some situations where you have to change your build path depending on the matchup in bot lane. So you have different options. In this situation, I base with 600 gold. You guys can see it here down here, 600 gold. So I have the option to go for AP Tome. I have the option to go for Mana Regen. I could even buy this item complete. I could get the boots. I could get a lot of stuff. I could even get the Ruby Crystal. Now, why did I make this section in the video? Is because right now, if you guys pay attention to the minimap, I'm playing against an engaged support. When you play against engaged hook champions, they are going to all-in you. You want to make sure that you secure HP. You want health components. So what am I going to buy? I'm going to buy Ruby Crystal and I'm going to go back bot lane. Because from Ruby Crystal, I can go towards Kindle Gem, and with Kindle Gem, I can choose to go for Redemption, I can choose to go for Mikael, I can get Moonstone as well, and I can get so many different items from Kindle Gem. And tanky enough to keep playing the laning phase and survive. And then I'm going to be more useful once I have one item, 1.5 item. So this is a very important tip that you guys should for sure go for. If the enemy bot lane is very bursty, then make sure that you get HP. Now, if I was playing against Mage bot lane or another Enchanter bot lane, I will most likely choose Forbidden Idol if I was going to build Ardent, Redemption, or Mikael first item. Or I would choose to go for the Mirror, right? The Mirror has very nice value, Mana Regen, also AP, if I was, for example, going to build Moonstone first item, okay? Or if I was going to build Imperial Mandate first item as well. Boots, for example, on the other hand, I would rush Boots if I need to dodge a lot of abilities. There's an example where I play against a Thresh, so I like to go, or Blitzcrank, I like to go Boots plus Ruby Crystal. So I'm getting HP and move speed, so I'm able to dodge the hooks. If I get hooked, I'm tanky, so I can also put myself in front of my AD carry, right? You will see it in this example right here. We can skip it a bit. So I end up getting Ruby Crystal, Control Ward, always. And then I think I get a potion. I don't wait for refillable potion, because at the end of the day, if you don't play against poke, you don't really need refillable potion. One potion is enough. I will end up getting hooked. I don't really care to get hooked as an enchanter, because once the aftershock goes out, I can tether with the W. The Nautilus is rooted. We get a nice trade. I have that extra HP that makes me a bit tankier. I don't have any bomb plated or anything, so with bomb plating, it can even be a bit better. And from here, we end up getting a random fight in the river. We end up winning the fight. After winning the fight, what am I going to buy? Let's pay attention. I could go for some AP, but it's not really important right now. What's important is that you put yourself in front of your carry, especially the early levels, as I said before, from level 1 to 6. You can trade more aggressive, you can push your advantage, and I'm getting HP and boots. Also a bit of Mana Regen and a Control Ward, so I can keep going and play bot side. Now, if Nautilus hooks me, I'm pretty tanky. I'm very confident that I will survive. Kai'Sa will do the damage, because my Kai'Sa will be free hitting. I'm also having shields. Usually enchanters will have shields or heals to keep fighting. So the healthier you are, the more HP you have, the more value you get out of those. So that's what I wanted to tell you in this chapter. Make sure you think about your first component. What can you buy? Move speed, HP, or AP? It depends on which type of bot lane you're facing. The golden question: how to play versus hook champions as an enchanter. I have some in-game examples, but I have a better example from some Korean solo queue that I might show you guys after this explanation, but I want to give you the theory behind it so you guys can see it, and then you will see it in-game, okay? So let's say we are blue side, we are playing Ezreal Karma into Kai'Sa Pyke. Now, I always recommend to get lane control, you get bush control, right? You want to play in the middle bush, and with the middle bush control, you are going to be able to push, and deliver the wave. Once you are in this situation, you can change and poke them from above, right? You want to make sure that you poke them from here, so you have more space to poke. Now, this gets very complicated, and this is a question that you guys ask yourself, and probably you're asking yourself right now before watching this video, is how do I win when the enemy bot lane is stronger? How do I get an advantage? How do I play in this situation? Now, you could decide to give prior to the enemy, meaning that you concede the laning phase, but that means that probably Pyke is going to move into this bush, and you will be in an annoying situation where he's controlling this side and Kai'Sa's just farming, and you cannot access the first waves. It's a bit annoying. Maybe your AD carry ends up getting hooked and dying because he's going to grid for a minion. But in this situation, if you have range advantage, you should be able to fight. How can you do that? Is you should be looking to contest through top side of the lane. Okay, you go with the wave. The first wave is going to come, is going to connect in the middle, and you want to start auto-attacking and impacting damage from the top side of the lane. You want to impact from the top side, so even if Pyke is in the bush, he cannot hook you in between the minions, and you are going to push, meaning the wave is going to slowly push towards them, and you are going to keep control over the top side, right? You see how it's going, you keep doing that. Now, in some situations, Pyke will still go and engage, and you have to be confident fighting. Why? Because he has to tank your minions and go into your wave, which in Season 15, they got turbo buffed, your minions, so they are going to do a lot of damage, and you have to hold your ground. You have to be confident and comfortable trading in your waves against enemy champions. If you don't get hooked and he has to go outside the bush and walk all of here, he's going to eat damage. And in early game, he's not going to be able to win. Now, if he concedes and he's smart and he doesn't go in, then you will get level 2. Once you get level 2, you can push them out, and get control over the lane, because he will have to concede the bush, because like the wave is coming. If he's not conceding the bush, then you can collapse on Pyke 2v1 and get him out, or even kill him. Pyke could be Thresh, Nautilus, right? Or any hook champion, and then he has to go under tower. Once they are under tower, then you must crash the third wave, okay? The third wave that is coming, it's also a normal wave nowadays in Season 15. And after that crash, you will just let the wave come towards you, and you will be totally safe, because you are going to be able to farm eventually from distance with Ezreal or any AD carry, and just let it push towards you, and you can collect it under tower. Now you're going to give a move to the enemy support, but it's the safest way for you to farm at least the first 7 to 8 waves without having any problem. And now once they crash the wave, you're going to build another wave towards them. Okay, so that's in theory how you want to play against hook champions. Make sure that you go with the wave, play around top side. If, for example, he is playing top side as well, thank you very much. We play in the bush and we get the control over the lane, right? If you can get free bush control that you probably saw in some of these examples as well, you take it, and from here you can get control over the wave, and you can just play normally. So this is one of my streams that I was doing a Silver to Challenger review that I like to do this time was from Pyke. So I was watching this Pyke, and they were playing against Zeri Lulu. This is high challenger in Korea. Obviously, you are not going to have a Korean AD carry. You're not going to play like a Korean support, but I want to show you the theory, right? The theory behind it, and how they apply it at a higher level. Obviously, if you know the theory, you can execute it. And if you're playing with a duo, it's way easier. If you are playing with a stranger AD carry, then maybe it can be a bit flip if he doesn't hold this ground, but probably it will turn out fine. You saw that the Lulu already queued the wave. She's auto-attacking the wave all the time. And now I do pause in the video, and I will also explain in the video, but I will skip that part, is that they're attacking and putting damage on the enemy wave through top side, right? They are placed here together, while Pyke and Jhin are controlling the bot side of the bush. Once they get the wave going, they're going to follow the wave, keep following the wave, and they ward the bush together, and they try to trade 2v1 together onto the enemy Pyke. Now, Pyke gets a hook. Here it's me explaining in the video, but Pyke gets a hook, they trade well onto Pyke, but the good part about Lulu and Zeri right here, it looks like a bit doomed for them, but it's not, because they get the level 2 advantage, right? Level 2 advantage gives you a lot of control over the lane, and now you see that Lulu is getting control over the bot lane bush. Once they get the control over the bot lane bush, she gets hooked, it doesn't matter, they cannot follow up, and now they can just push the next wave, so they got the third wave. They could decide to base and get a cheater recall for Zeri. You could decide to just let the wave come towards you. You could keep pushing if you have your jungle coming, but it's important that you understand if he's playing bot side of the lane and you cannot win the 2v2 because you're weaker, use your range advantage to push the wave and get the level 2. Once you get the level 2, you can get back the control of the lane. Knowing when to roam as an enchanter, it's super important. It's the same thing as an engaged champion, but you have to be more careful. You have to be more careful because you are not as strong as when you move to mid lane, to top lane, or with your jungler than if you were playing, like, for example, Leona, Rel, Nautilus. But you are very efficient anyways if you do it very smart. Now, today I want to show you that right here, I cannot do anything bot lane because Jhin just crashed the wave. He's going to base. So I'm useless. I open mid lane. Now, let's pause for a second. I have Renekton Camille. I'm not going to pause. Let's just keep playing because you will see. You see the magic happen. Now, Renekton Camille is a very snowball heavy lane. Okay, a lot of top lane matchups are going to be super snowbally, and you want to make sure that they get ahead. If my Camille gets ahead this game against Renekton, especially in early game, she will be able to take over the game and win the game for me. Now, I have time because Jhin is going to collect the wave, and I'm going to gank the Camille as a level 3 Sona. Now, you don't have to do much in this type of ganks because when they play carry against carry, usually by being there and adding a bit of damage, as I said again, the level 6, you do a lot of damage as an enchanter. You just go there, help them out, secure the kill, get the assist, or just help them like push a wave, help them crash, reset, and then you do your normal support life. What is your normal support life? You go bot lane and play bot lane. Now, in this game, if we skip forward for a bit, we get ganked, we play normally like nothing crazy is going to happen. Camille gets another kill. That sticks, that stays with me, okay? Camille already killed the Renekton 3 times, 1 with my help, or at least I was present, and 2 without me. So Camille is already a good player, and she is winning when she should not be winning. Like, again, Renekton is pretty strong early game. So if I make sure that she can play as comfortable as possible, we will win the game. And this needs to be, like, for sure something you understand in solo queue. You have to find solutions to the problems and find ways to win the game as fast, as easy as possible, right? You have to look for the simple path, right? Now, I'm going towards top lane again. I'm abandoning my Jhin. He can lane 1v2, no problem, especially against an enchanter like Milio. And I'm going to come here right now, flash, W heal, and I save the Camille for just a bit. But if I was not here, Camille would have died. Maybe Renekton gets away because he's pretty strong. He gets the... Maybe Milio and Vega will come. And now Milio is late. And I was just there at the right moment, at the right time. You guys have in the description the support document that I use, that a lot of you guys already know that you are using. But here I explain every AD carry, right? Here we have Jhin, for example. We are playing with Jhin. And when to roam, if it's easy, if it's hard, when it's easy, when it's difficult to roam. So I know that Jhin is going to be super safe already in bot lane because this is what I think. I think for sure he can lane easier. If he's playing against an engaged champion, it's going to be a bit harder, but because it's against Milio, it's way easier to do this type of roams, okay? If you're playing an enchanter, please study or take a look at this document before you enter and say, okay, with which AD carry I'm playing with a smolder. When can I move? What can I do? Is it easy? Is it going to be hard? And then with your own experience, you are going to be able to be more efficient in roams. How to get deep vision as an enchanter safely without dying, or at least trying to not get caught and not dying. Now, I will always recommend you guys getting deep vision because deep vision is one of the strongest tools that we have as supports, right? If we get vision in enemy jungle, we will be able to spot the enemies faster, get information sooner, and make faster decisions depending on what the enemy is doing, because we know what they're up to, right? If they are coming towards bot side, if maybe they are pathing up, then we can play more aggressive in bot lane, and so on. Now, you guys usually have panic and ward around this area only. Like, let's say you drop a normal ward here, but if you guys are waiting, or if the enemy bot lane is dead, really nice ways to get vision if the enemy jungle is still alive is this way. You can establish a control ward here and use this control ward as what we call a safe zone, that we are also going to see that in the next chapter in teamfights, that is going to help you go towards a place. Let's say I want to get a ward here. I get the ward here and I can go back here towards the control ward, and I know that they don't see me. So I'm safe here. They will not know that this is warded. Okay, you can do the same with sweepers or vision plants to see if what's going on. And then you can go again, drop a ward, and come back to the control ward. So you are going in, warding, coming back, and going and warding. Because if you end up doing this, drop a ward and keep going this way, and the enemy jungle is still alive, you might find him here. And then you can get collapsed, and then you need to flash out, and it's going to be a bit messy, right? So you can do it just slowly by steps while your AD carry is pushing the wave or crashing. Let's say you kill the enemy bot lane, and you can do this ward. Once you do this ward, maybe you can come here and drop another ward here. And now, if we leave this area, you will see how the minimap, we have very nice deep vision, right? It could be a bit deeper, but it's a very nice safe vision for us to play around. And we use the control ward to have access to this. Now, if we want to, for example, ward the enemy topside jungle, how can we do that? We can do the same with a nice control ward. Let's say the mid lane they are fighting mid lane, we establish control. This control ward is going to help us understand that they don't see us coming in. Now, once we pass this area, this control ward doesn't protect us anymore. So what can we do? Obviously, if there's a vision plant, that's very nice. But we pop our sweeper. We pop our sweeper. We know they don't see us. Now we can place a ward. Why am I going back here? It's because I know that this area is not warded from the enemy. So they don't know that I'm here. So I can go here, establish the ward here. This is a bit riskier to go this way because you are face checking this corner, but you also get a nice ward. And from there, you can go back, and again, you are going back to an area that you know they have no vision, so they cannot prepare something against you. What's the common mistake that happens usually is that, let's say you have your two wards, you say, oh, let's get the vision, I'm coming this way, you are not popping the sweeper, you are not using the control ward, you drop the ward, you come here, you go to drop here, and now you get collapsed, and now the enemy lane is also moving because they saw you come in. So because they saw you come in, now they are making a trap, they are trapping you. Because they only think about kills as well, so they know you're a free kill. And that's how you end up dying. So you have to take steps in vision so you can get better deep vision. And deep vision is broken. So make sure you follow the steps so you can get really good deep vision. Next one, the 1-2-3 rule in team fights. You guys know it if you have been following me for a long time already, what the 1-2-3 rule is, but it's mandatory that I talk about it as well. I'm doing something also that we are going to see in the next chapter. What's the 1-2-3 rule? The 1-2-3 rule for enchanters is the first, the 1, the 2, and the 3, right? Let's drop everything here up so you guys can see. So what is the 1-2-3? The 1 is the tanks, the front line, right? Are going to be the 1. The 2 are going to be the carry champions. And the 3 is going to be us, the enchanter. Why? Because we are buffing the carries and we are making sure they can play. And we move sometimes from 3 to 2, but you never want to be in front line and you never want to be actually in the carry lane for a long period of time. So typical mistakes that I see constantly is that instead of being here where I am, I will be here, which is fine, right? You are next to Caitlyn, it's no problem. But then someone engages, your Caitlyn uses E, she ends up here and you end up here. Now you end up in front of Caitlyn, which is not good. So you always have to understand that your AD carry can flash out, they can dash out, and you cannot. And then you cannot reposition yourself if you have no flash, right? So you always have to be in the third line so you can keep the shields up. Now pay attention to this fight, because in this fight, I will pause it as well. Let's go for it. We get the kill onto Briar, but I'm not going forward. All of this, for me, it's danger, okay? Danger. They are still alive, the enemy team, and anything, even the wind, one-shots me, okay? League of Legends right now, there is so much damage. It's very difficult to have like a game where the fights are super long. It's not the meta anymore. There needs to be changes in damage, so you can step a bit forward and play a bit more aggressive maybe, but it's not the case right now. So we end up getting the kill, and I'm still respecting. Imagine I go forward and I take that melee or Garen flash at me, I'm dead, right? I'm insta one shot. So I'm being very careful, even in this fight, when it looks really won, you will see. Now they're going to go on to Poppy. I'm just going to normal shield Poppy, so Poppy can play aggressive, and look at me. I didn't step up to throw a Q. I didn't step up to throw a W. I'm just holding my mantra and waiting for my E cooldown again. Okay, I could be positioned even a bit better, honestly. And I will mantra E, I believe the Caitlyn, so they have the move speed and they keep going forward. It's a one team fight, but it's fundamental to understand that you don't want to go forward. I see, that's why I do it, this chapter. I see so many players that shield, the fight is kind of won, they go forward, they get one shot, and now they are dead. Be patient, let your team play. Your Q does no damage, your W does no damage. If they go onto you, then you can Q and W, that's fine. Or you can, the other enchanters will have other aggressive spells, but you're not going to run with Lulu and Q a champion in the middle of a team fight. It does nothing, right? If they come towards you, then you can use Q and W to peel, but you want to make sure that you are respecting the positioning and you follow the 1, 2, 3 rule, and you're going to do so good. You're going to do great. Let's talk about how to use control words in team fights or objectives in your favor. Now, you saw it in the last clip when I was explaining the 1, 2, 3 rule, where I use my control words, so you can go back and see it again. But you want to use control words to create what we call safe zones while fighting. Right here, I'm reviewing Yana Queen, which is a challenger Korean support that uses Glacial with Yana, which we were studying. Sometimes we have study rooms in my live streams, so you guys can check that out as well on my live streams. You can find a lot of different content right there. So you can see how they play around vision so well, and the power of a control word. What does a control word give you in a fight? And I want to make this chapter because control words are so misunderstood in general by a lot of people. And the more I talk about it and the more I explain it, it will make more sense for you guys, and you will have tools to play around, which at the end of the day, that's what you need. You need tools to be able to execute in your games. So pay attention to Yana here. We are going to watch Yana moves, all right? Yana is here. And she's going to create a safe zone here. What's a safe zone? Is a place where she's going to put a control word, and the enemy team will have no vision. What is she going to do? Is she's going to go in and out the bush, depending on what she needs, and play with the vision, so she doesn't get engaged or she can play safely. Now they are playing the typical attack and fight. She established a control word there, and from here she just ults to heal up the teammates and establish a tornado, and she goes in the bush. Now the enemy team has no idea where Yana is right now. They obviously the last time they saw Yana was around here, but they don't know exactly where she is. She could be here, she could be here, she could be here, she could be anywhere, right? So again, she uses the Q, goes in, goes out, goes in, goes out. Now she sees that the fight is a bit more won, and she keeps really good range, like around their carries. She auto attacks because it's a safe place to do, and the team fight is won, or they get an advantage in the team fights. Now, this is a small example of that. A lot of times, how to play around vision and how to make sure that you keep the 1, 2, 3 rule as well in your favor, utilizing control words in objectives like Atacan or Dragon, Herald, Nashor. You can do this and think about this bush control as a place that is really good for your carries also to kite to us, right? If you have like a Varus in this case, or a Victor or whatever champion you have, a control mage, they can always go towards your control wards behind, and for the enemy it's harder to chase for kills or make plays when they don't see what's happening inside the bush. Okay, so create safe zones with control wards, super important. Last one, stop going alone. Let me explain. I don't have an in-game example for this one, but this, I've seen it. I close my eyes and I see it on every coaching session, like probably from gold below every single time. Now, what do I mean with this? Let's imagine you guys are blue side, and this is the situation of the game. Ari does an amazing ultimate. Let me take this. Ari does an amazing ultimate. You end up killing Caitlyn. Lee Sin also is dead. Leona's low. She has to run away. And Nazir is also very low, and he has to run away, or he's almost dead. But he's around there, right? Caitlyn and Lee Sin, they are both dead. Now Aatrox is also low, he's losing. And right now, your Ari is in a good position, your Kai'Sa is healthy, you are healthy, and Nafir is doing, I don't know, camps. Like, that's very just normal, no? He's going for wolves. Now, it's minute 25, or it's minute, like, say, 27 in the game, and Nashor is up. And you say, let's go Nashor, and you ping Nashor. One of the common mistakes, and now I'm going to the point, is that you know that Nashor is a good play. I know Nashor is a good play, but your team is not going for Nashor. Your team is going for the mid tower, which is probably not the best idea to go for the mid tower, and you are going towards Nashor. Now, this you can never do as an Enchanter support, Engage support, any support, right? You cannot do things alone. If your team sucks, they suck, but you suck together and you go together with your team, right? Because you are stronger together, ape strong together, 100%, than you going alone. I've seen so many times where you start walking towards the Nashor and your team keeps sieging. And then they try to dive the Azir. Azir gets a double kill, and now Ari and Kai'Sa are dead, and you're, God damn it! I wanted to go for the Nashor. Look, I'm on the Nashor. I'm ping. It doesn't do anything. I know in low elo they are not going to listen. You should go for Nashor, and they will keep sieging. So instead, stay with them, help them play, and if they decide to go Nashor, then we go Nashor, right? But we go together. Once they move and everyone moves, let's go Nashor. But if they keep sieging mid lane together, let's stick to your team. Stick to your team on every single play in mid to late game. Don't abandon your team, especially if you are playing Enchanter. Please, I've seen so many times, I tell you, let's go Dragon, and you start walking alone. You are useless alone. Understand that. You are useless alone. You want to socialize with your teammates. You need your teammates. And if it takes 5 more minutes, it will take 5 more minutes. You need some patience to play Enchanter, but I assure you it's the strongest role in the game, or it's the strongest way to climb as support. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Until next time, see ya. Bye bye.